Welcome to my second YouTube video on my channel. The focus of today's video is really reflecting a lot of the types of emails and the types of questions that I've been getting through over the last 2 weeks. Obviously with COVID, we're all just starting to come out of lockdown, albeit very slowly. And whilst we're very busy, I think in mental health anyway, what I'm certainly seeing a lot more of over the last week or two, are people emailing me in a real crisis. So really sitting with thoughts, feelings, that kind of distress that you get in your body that just feels really too hard to hold. And lots of thoughts of not being able to navigate this safely, lots of thoughts of not wanting to be here. And I think when something like that happens, when we are really battling thoughts and feelings, they can get very big. They can get so loud in our head and so huge in our body that we almost lose our rational, protective way of thinking. So I wanted to do just a quick couple of videos about what to do if you're feeling that way. So if this is you right now, if you're feeling as though it's very hard to hold the things that you've got going on in your head, or your body or your feelings are very strong, or it might be this sort of opposite of that really intense anxiety, those loud thoughts. It might be that there's a numbness or just a real low kind of feeling of pointlessness to everything. And that the only way that you can see through this is to harm yourself in some way, to take your own life. The first thing that I'd want to say is I'm really glad you're here, because when we are feeling suicidal, it's not all of us, it's a part of us. And it's at that moment or this moment in time that part of us just gets very, very loud. And it feels at that point that all of us really wants to do this action. And it's not, because another part of you has come here to get some support. And so we need to really strengthen and work with that part, because that's the part that's really grounded and thinking a bit more logically. And that's the part that's going to try and keep you safe. So when you are thinking that you have a definite plan, or when you are feeling as though there isn't any other option for you, then what we have to do is to get you to connect. There is no greater way of getting immediate support than talking to somebody. And it's easier said than done, isn't it? It's the thought of picking up the phone and telling somebody what you possibly haven't told anybody else is terrifying. And I think it can almost be more terrifying than actually ending your life or harming yourself in some way. So I'm just going to pull up a couple of numbers, and I'm going to just talk through each one and even think about what it is that you might say. So the first one that should be appearing now on the screen is the Samaritans. They're very well known. They have an excellent service staffed by volunteers. And the thing is, whilst you're feeling that it's very difficult to reach out to somebody, a volunteer in a call centre somewhere like the Samaritans, what's really useful to think about is why they volunteered, why they wanted to do a job where they're taking calls like this. And it's usually because they've been through their own battles, or they've supported family or loved ones with their own battles. It's just another human sat with a phone on a desk, ready for it to ring, wondering if they're going to be able to do a good enough job for you, maybe feeling nervous, maybe having insecurities about can they connect with you enough. They're just another person with lots of vulnerabilities and worries, the same as you. And the great thing about the Samaritans is it's anonymous. They won't take any details from you. They're not going to force you into any decisions. They're just going to listen. So if you can pluck up the courage to call the number that's up now, they'll answer the phone and they'll say something like, "Hello, it's the Samaritans," and all you need to say is, "I'm not feeling great," or "I'm finding it really hard tonight." That's all you need to do. That's the opener, and they will absolutely do the rest. If you're feeling that making a phone call just feels too much, because it can be quite nerve-wracking, then shout, and the number should come up now, has an excellent text service where you can text the same thing. Again, it's confidential, it's anonymous, they're very careful with your data, and you can text them and say, I'm having a really difficult night, and they will take care of the reply, and they will sort of scaffold the conversation so that you can feel really reassured that actually they're going to take care of you. If you're a young person, Papyrus is excellent. They have an incredible helpline, and the number for that should just be up now. Opening hours for Papyrus, I'm just going to read. Weekdays, they're from 9 in the morning till 10 at night, and on the weekends, it's from 2 in the afternoon till 10 at night. Again, confidential. Really experienced, lovely, kind, safe pair of hands to just connect with and say how you're thinking and feeling. If you have harmed yourself, then there's a couple of things that we can do. If you have harmed yourself, the first thing we need to do is to just think about medical support. Have you taken tablets? Have you cut yourself in a way that means that we need to take care of you physically? And if you have, then 999 is obviously the first place to go. They're really well trained in dealing with this. Mental health is a massive part of our NHS. And so there will be no judgment, just an awful lot of compassion. Remember, 1 in 3 of us have battled mental health issues. And so the majority of the people that you're going to be meeting know exactly what it feels like, or their version of what it feels like to be in distress. So in summary, the first thing I need you to do, if you're in absolute distress and you can see no other option, the first thing to do is to connect with somebody and get immediate help. So that's with the Samaritans, and the number's here again. Well, that's texting shout. The number should be here again. Or if you're a young person, that's getting in touch with Papyrus. And if you have done anything to yourself that needs medical support, then it's 999. And that number is up there as well. In the next video, what I'm going to be doing is just talking about what happens, or what we can do when you still have those thoughts, but you don't feel as though you're in immediate danger. This is really just specifically to cover if you feel as though you actually can't keep yourself safe. Please, 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 please connect with somebody. It's just somebody like me, who loves their job, desperately wants to help people as much as they can. And I think if you work in this type of role, you're trained to make this easier for the person you're speaking to. You're trained to know how to connect with somebody. And that fear that you have right now about talking to them, as soon as you pick up the phone and you hear the friendly voice, and you hear that they know what to do and they can help you manage that conversation, it's just such a relief to just put it all into someone else's hands just for a moment, because if you are here, it's going to have been really heavy to carry around for a while.